Hey everyone, Zero JD here with the X-Bay Fans channel. I'm here to give you a quick taste of Frost. It's a from what I've played so far, almost about 30 minutes to an hour of a very heavily luck-based card game. I've done a tutorial. I've done this classic mode about 6 or 7 times, restarted multiple times. Scenarios essentially just like a specific scenario where you have to do a specific thing. And this one I have unlocked is like you're a father of a family. You essentially have to keep these humans, the survivors, alive. So you can't really sacrifice them for any reason or anything kind of like that. So I'm going to show you the classic. Maybe we can beat it, maybe not. And I'll explain it as I go. But the base idea is that you're migrating away from this thing called the Frost, which is essentially a death wall. And this is your starting deck. You see I have 4 survivors, 2 food, 2 materials, and 2 fatigue cards. Fatigue cards are essentially just like cards that just take up space. I have my deck and my discard pile at the end of, I believe, a certain amount of turns, or when your cards run out, they reshuffle the discard pile back into there. So there's a lot of stuff on screen. At the top, you can see the Frost counter. Every time I end a turn and don't move, it goes down. When it gets to 1 and then 0, you lose. Left side is my character. That's his health points, which will in specific scenarios will take damage from stuff. Bottom left is my stock. So as you remember, that's how much I had in my hand or my basic deck, and some of the cards are right here. So as you can see, I also have these cards up here. These are ideas. I can use resources to buy an idea and keep it for later. So actually, I'm going to invest in the idea. Well, first, this is the first right here in the middle is what I need to actually keep going. I need 2 food and 1 survivor. Since I don't actually need any of these materials for the wood, I'm going to actually buy this card. And now for the remainder of this scenario that I'm in, the card will be part of my actual legitimate deck. Like I said before, the fatigues are just taking up cards. My hand size right now is 5. Yes, I can count, and it won't get any bigger than that. It was alluded to that later on that there will be times where like the cold can affect your hand and all that stuff, make it larger or bigger, and you can actually do stuff for that. So for right now, I'm going to select, put that in there, and since I have nothing else I can really do, I'm going to hit end turn. Those cards are going to go to the discard pile, and I have some more cards. So luckily, I actually got a food card, so now I'm good. But as you can see at the top, there's a idea card that if I use him and her, it'll now be added to my pile. So I have actually got 1 more survivor over here. I can send him the forge, which could either bring me food, materials, another survivor, or it could kill them or add a fatigue or terror card. In this case, it gave me a material. That material now goes into my actual hand, and I keep it. If you watch the left, everything got restocked, so we're still good to go. So I'm going to do that. This, as you can see here, there's a wolf here. So that's one of the issues, is that if I don't get rid of him, I'll either have to sacrifice a survivor or I'll have to take a health point. That's sort of a scenario card for this region, as they call it. So I'm going to send this guy out to scavenge. I luckily got some food. Use it there, and we're going to keep traveling. Issue is now, since I have the wolf on, I had the wolf card last scenario, so I'm going to hit left stick, take some damage, don't really care. So the issue I keep running into is, and it actually happened my last time, is I needed 4 food, and I only started with 2, so I used those 2, and every time I used a person to scavenge, it never actually brought me anything. So I was just continually, I'm going to use this. So this idea card has an effect. I will now get 2 material, and I'm going to use that to unlock this card over here. So now if I get another food later on, I can transfer that into another material. I can transfer that to food. So like I was saying, every time I sent on a survivor in that last match, he would only come back with either terror, fatigue, or he would just die. And that happened for literally 6 turns in a row. All right, so actually, luckily, I can get a gathering, pull out 4 people, boom, boom. I'm going to transfer this into food, and then survivor, and now I have some more food. And now you saw it all got transferred to my stock. But there's been times where I had almost like 8 or 9 food and only 2 wood. So we do that, do this. Nothing on the top I really want, but I can actually go ahead and just dump that into there and go. So I got a cat. So what does he do? I can hit X to figure out what he does. He removes fatigue. If I pay food, he removes fatigue, and I believe I get a will remove it. So let's see. I'm going to use the kitty, and I'm going to remove that fatigue, which makes it less likely that I will draw it again. Luckily, I got a wood there, so let's travel. I've also run into the issue where I'm actually hitting right trigger when I mean to travel a lot. Maybe that's just me being stupid. And let's keep rolling. So of terror, I believe you get 3 of those in one hand. You die. So the reason I did that is because I knew I had a lot of... Oh, I pushed the wrong thing. There is no, like, hey, confirm kind of stuff. So that's happened a few times where I did something by mistake and it's kind of killed me. And that survivor is now just gone. I have plenty of food, a nice thing of material. And I got this kitty again. I do need everything though, so we're gonna do this and this, and just put this car up here for the shelter. But this is essentially the game. At the end of turns, or at the end of a like a run, you might get a hey. It'll be like, hey, you died, but you're gonna get this like new card. So if I had one more terror, I believe this game would just be over for me. That there. So I have enough here. Let's draw some cards, and nothing I can really buy, so we're going to keep moving. Every time you do travel, you get a step away from the frost. At the top left, you'll see, like, hey, that's how many days it's been and how much distance is left. So this one was a nice, easy one. We're going to buy this spear because that's a really good item to have. And we're going to send him out, and, oh yeah, here we go. So this turn went, like, amazingly well for me. And of course, if you look down here, I can be like, hey, these are what's in my discard pile, but I can't actually check what's in my other thing. There, and there, and maybe I'll get a spear next turn, which I will not. And, oh, so that's bad. I have multiple terrors now. So I can now keep going. I'm going to go ahead and take the hit to my character. I could sacrifice the cat, but if you do that, please turn off your Xbox right now. Never sacrifice the kitty. Can I buy anything with food? No, but I could do a forced march, which is not ideal. So we're gonna go here, and I got a fatigue. So we're gonna keep moving. Nothing interesting at the top, and we got a wood. Excellent. So I'm at 1 health. So the next time, if I have a bad encounter, I'm gonna have to either kill it or this game's over. So anything at the top, fire to get stuff. Drawing cards is always good. Keep moving. I've encountered some weird bugs with this game where it's like all of a sudden it's like, hey, hit the travel button. Oh, but you can't actually travel. Sorry. So, like, this is what happened last time when I had that last match where, like, I just kept on sending people out and they eventually just kept dying and dying. So we're going to end my turn here. Got some wood. This card over here is heavily indicative of cannibalism. Ain't no one going to do that. People are just way too fatty, if you ask me. The art is weird in this game. Some of it looks good, but the stuff like on like the left with the guy, he looks like he's just continually watching me. It's not bad art, it's just creepy. So this is like, hey, use a pickaxe, you get food, which is kind of, I don't want to think about that. So if I don't have a person to sacrifice here, yes, so I'm gonna have to get rid of him. And get rid of these cannibals. And keep moving. Not sure what this cannibal dark card does. Oh, so I have to defeat this to get rid of him. So I'm gonna have to eat a turn and hopefully get some more food. Give that to them so they'll leave me alone, because if I didn't do that, I would not survive the next turn. And I don't really want to keep like wasting people. Go over here. Use this guy to salve it. But like a lot of that time, it's just like I never get what I actually need. It's a little more food and then keep traveling. So this is actually the closest I have gotten to beating it. Food. Send a person out. Got nothing. Come on. And then that's it. It is game over. But that's like, this has been my like annoyance, is like, it's like a lot of card games are dependent on like, I can control the deck. I put it together. I can't do that here, or at least not yet. It feels like there's just way too much RNG in this. You can see like what you collected and stuff like that. But it's like, hey, all this fun stuff and all that. But it looks like there is a, it looks like I've unlocked a lot of stuff. But it's like, it feels again way too RNG-ish. Maybe we'll do another quick one, but it's like I can't even get past easy. And like, maybe I suck. Maybe I'm fully missing it. But again, it feels like, hey, you're just not getting the cards you need. And it's like always going to be like this. So 1, 2, 3, boom. Maybe I need to start being less aggressive with how I play, but I've just gotten to a point where I don't, I can actually afford both of those. I don't really want to keep playing it to learn it, because I don't feel like I'm making any progress whatsoever. I guess you could kind of call this a rogue light card game, but the cards I'm getting are like appearing up here, and I'm not really like, I don't feel like they're helping me. Because my mindset is like, I need to keep moving, I need to keep moving. Yeah, it's never gotten to a point where like, yay, I'm like ahead of the storm, there's a little reprieve here. Oh, and now that guy's just dead. But this is Frost, I am ZeroJD, this is the XBLA Fans channel. Thank you so much for watching me be terrible at a card game. But check out our other videos. Thank you so much, and have a nice day.